Hello, today we're binding. Just going to show you quickly how I glue the bindings on. So bent the wood binding. I then on the inner edge I just cut that corner off, just scrape it away about halfway. And this is what that looks like. See that? Just beveled away a bit. It's about half, maybe a third, I don't know, whatever. But that's that. So the rest is easy. If you've got it fitting good, that's how good mine fit. I use CA glue for the purfling on the back, but then I use Titebond for bindings. Titebond's a little bit gap filling, and I, blob it in there. I don't care if this gets messy, I just don't care. Okay, so before I started this video, I made sure this end was butting up nicely to this first piece of binding. So just push that in this way. So for this first part, I'm pushing this way so it butts up against this piece of ebony, but I'm also pushing down and that way. So I just put a couple on, and for this part I'm pushing kind of diagonally down, which shows that I'm pushing down this way and this way. And then I'll go back and put one right in the middle. So now we can just carry on. Another trick is to use a piece of wood, which saves your thumb from becoming fatigued. It's actually a bit big. No, this will do. Another way you can do it is just to glue this part and then tape it up, then glue the next part, tape it up. If your bindings are fitting good, you can just glue the whole thing and just go around. It's never been a problem for me doing it that way. Another way to save time is to do this. get all the tape before you put the glue on, like that. I used to do that in Australia, and I still do it sometimes. And then you can just power through it. When you get to the waist, put one right in the middle. Just make sure everything's pushed down, pushed in, and really make sure it's gonna stay there. Another thing you can do is, just to help you, is just tape that side down because it wants to lift up on the back. And I usually go to town on the waist area. Sometimes it does that. Sometimes it just rips. You just keep moving on. There's no rush, but there's a bit of haste. Haste being less rushed than rushed. And for this area, just this cutaway area, this overhang here, that area, this bit, just make sure that's pushed hard up against there. Also, just make sure that this is kind of sitting square in this area, because we have to butt up something else to it. If it's at an angle like that, it's kind of harder to butt something up against an angled thing. But that's looking good. Then I just go around and observe, poke and prod what's happening. Check that it's all pushed in here. Sometimes you'll get a little bit that is a bit squishy, like that. See if I can zoom in and show you. See that? So then I'll get an extra long bit of tape. So I can go down further and also have more holding power along here with the extra long tape. And I reorientate it so I'm pushing this into my belly. And push that in, pull the tape tight, put it down, and she's right. So after that's dry, I'll come back, put this in, oops. I'll wait till all this is dry, do that, and then I've got to do these parts as well, but that's just kind of a bit more inlay work than anything else. I find it easier to do it this way and then put this curved inlay, cutaway area in. And it's a shorter bit, so if you stuff it up, it doesn't matter if you screw up, 2.5 inches of ebony. But if you screw up 18 inches of ebony binding, that's kind of annoying. So I just fit this last. But on the on this first bit, I put this in first before this side, but what I did is put this, actually no I didn't, I put this in first and then I put this in, and the reason for that was I do a butt joint, so it is it's like this, like that. I don't 45 each of these, that's a weaker joint than this, and this goes around there and that butts up against it that way, so it looks nicer on this side. Yeah, I've done you know, nice 45 miters on the binding here, but it's just a little bit weaker, which is not really desirable for binding. I do miter, like with 45s, the purfling, which is just inside the bindings. Yeah, so don't butt purfling because it looks like crap. Always miter them. And yeah, I would advise just butting up the bindings on cutaways. Anyway, I hope that was of help to people. I will see you next time. Please subscribe if you like to learn stuff, and tell me what you want to learn. If I'm doing that job, I'll just do a video of it as I'm doing it.